I've been hoarding crochet secrets, but now I've got a confession. Get up on the floor, dancing all night long. Get up on the floor, dancing to the break of dawn. Get up on the floor, dancing to the break of. Hi, my loves, and welcome back to another great video. My name is Husseina. I own Crochet by Hussi. Today, I'm starting a new series I decided to call Crochet Confessionals with Hussi. I'll be sharing in this series my experiences, tips, tricks, and insights as a crochet artist and business owner. Now that we've warmed up and we're clear what Crochet Confessionals is going to be all about, in today's episode, I'll be talking about 7 mistakes I made as a beginner crocheter so you don't have to make them. And we'll be jumping right in. Number 1 mistake I made as a crochet artist is not thinking my business name through. You guys, you guys. So this is a story time of how I came about my business name. You know, my business name is Crochet by Hussi, yeah? And not as a bad name, not that I don't like it. In short, I love Crochet by Hussi. It's grown on me. However, when I started, I just thought, oh, I'm crocheting now. I want to have a business. What do I call my business? Hussi Crochet. Crochet by Hussi. Hussina Crochet. Crochet by Hussi. Like, that was my train of thought. That was my thought process. I didn't sit down and say, oh, it must not have my name in it. It could be creative. You see names like Yarn Over, Two Amazing Hands. In short, there are arrays of crochet names out there that are just simply amazing. Names that stick, names that you just have in your head rent free. That's the kind of crochet name you want to look out for. So if you ever want to turn your crochet hobby into a business, I want you to pull out a sheet of paper, Google past crochet names nobody has used, names of yarn, be inspired by anything. Not saying it must not have your name in it, it could have your name in it, but it should just be something that is not as common, something that would not be mistaken for another person's brand, okay? Because here's one thing you need to know. When I chose Crochet by Hussi and I stuck with it, yeah, there was this time I low-key started considering knitting. But I'm like, if I start a knitwear brand, do I call it Crochet and Knit by Hussi? Does a knitwear brand now fit with my crochet brand? And that's one thing you just want to consider when choosing a name. If you want to in the future own other businesses and you want all your businesses under an umbrella with the same name, you want to think this through before naming your crochet brand. You don't want to call it crochet with this, crochet by this crochet, and then you now want to start selling jewelry. And you'd be like, if I had a name that did not carry crochet, I can sell my jewelries under this brand. If you thought it through, you would have avoided all this, trust me. And lastly, about choosing names and thinking your name idea is true, I'll say this. You could always change your name, baby girl. I know a couple crochet artists I've been following for a while that ended up changing their name midway, 5 years into the business. Crochet by Hussi has just grown on me. And who's to say I won't change it? I might not. For now, I really, really like it and I'm satisfied with the name. But don't feel restricted. Don't think this point or this crochet mistake does not apply to you just because you've started and you've been using your crochet name. You could always rebrand. In short, rebranding is the most powerful thing ever. And this leads me to mistake number 2. Waiting for everything to be perfect before you start. Now, this is not a mistake I made myself, but I see a lot of crocheters make it. Why, baby girl? Why are you waiting for everything to be perfect? Listen, when I started my brand, I basically just made my very first bralette and then I told my sister, I think I can make business of this. And my sister said, yes, start now. Post this bralette. I think that very day I posted the bralette. 2 days later, she made a logo for me and baby girl, I was in business. Who said I've not rebranded after that? Who said I've not stepped up after that? But I post every single crochet item I make on my Instagram. Every single one of them. So why are you letting it not being perfect hold you back? If you scroll down my page, if clients, prospective clients scroll down my page, if they're ever having a fit of if to trust me or not, they say I've been doing this for years. They say I have works to show for this. They say I'm not a baby in the game. They say I not just start yesterday. Now let me tell you the difference between me and someone who's waiting for everything to be perfect. Someone who's waiting for everything to be perfect would be waiting to get a business logo, the perfect name idea, be waiting to make their seventh, eighth, ninth, or 10th crochet mistake before posting the first one. Me, on the other hand, I opened an Instagram business page without even having a name or a logo. I thought about the name and the logo that night and then updated it the next day. I took a picture of the very first thing I ever crocheted, and I posted it that same day. I then told all my friends to go follow that Instagram page, had them share my post, had them like and comment. Not to say this person's own would not come out more professional, but you see, I already have a post on Instagram. This person does not. I already know my followers are more active at so time. This person does not. Cause guess why? They've not shared their work. They've not posted. They're waiting for everything to be perfect. Perfectionism would kill ideas. Nothing is ever better perfect. They say the best time to start was yesterday. Not even today. However, since you're watching this today, the best time to start, baby girl, is today. Start now. Open the page, post your work, share it to your friends, to your family, tell them to go follow. Start today and continue tomorrow. Don't start today and stop. Start today and continue tomorrow. Now to mistake number 3, using the wrong crochet hook and crochet pins. Here's the gist, guys. Now you've quite caught up on how I started my brand from mistakes number 1 and 2. Knowing that I started that way, do I look like I was someone that had a stash of yarn and pins set to go? No. I had none of those. So I saved up a few bucks and I got, I think, about 5 balls of yarn. Yay yarn. And trust me, it was way cheap then. It was, I think, about 300 naira per ball. So I got about 5 balls of yay yarn because I didn't know how much I would need for the particular project. I wanted to do a bralette. And then I had these very tiny hooks that they sell in the market. So tiny. I think they're about 0.9 millimeters. I'm not even sure because I don't have any of that currently. And then I started with that. I used that for my very first project. However, this was a mistake on my part because I thought that's all there was to it. Yes, I didn't know they were bigger hooks. I didn't research this thing, no. I really just started. So when I now did my first project and I opened my Instagram, you know how the algorithm works. They brought a lot of crocheters my way. I'm like, what? This craft I thought I was going into that is untapped. A lot of people are doing it too. And then I saw the hooks they were using. I went online, I went to Jumia, and I was talking to my friend and she said, yeah, there was one time she really considered it and she got some hooks. She could lend me one of them. She literally offered to lend me one, and because I didn't want to be greedy, I looked at the pack and I took the smallest one. Now in that pack, the smallest one was the 2.5 millimeter, and I'm like, this would do because I'm used to the very tiny one I talked about I got from the madam. So I'm like, this would do. And then I took it and I was using 2 strands of yeye all through and that hook size. Even when I started getting clients, I would use that tiny hook to make sweaters, use that tiny hook to make shirts, use that tiny hook to make bralettes. Till I said, oh, since I'm getting clients now, I should save some of the money they pay me and buy my own set of hooks because I knew my friend had hers. I knew I could get it here. What this mistake boils down to really is that there's a plethora of options for you, a lot of options to choose from. Matching hooks and yarn size is way, way, way important for your crochet outfits to come out properly. Using that tiny hook and that same weight of yarn always had me have this very stiff, not free crochet outfits. Not saying that combination would not work for other outfits, but it was wrong to use it for every single outfit I made. Now leading us to mistake number 4. Mistake number 4. I don't personally make this mistake, but I see a lot of new beginners make it. Not sharing their work. I know I've touched on this when I talked about waiting for everything to be perfect, but I feel I need to segregate this mistake and talk about it. Why are you not sharing your work? Why are you not proud of what you made with your hands? Why do you think it's not Instagram worthy? Who set the standard for Instagram worthy pictures? I don't know, I'm just asking you. So reply in the comment section. Share your work. Share the hell out of your work, baby girl. Like I said earlier on, I take pictures of everything. See, everything I ever crochet. If I don't take a picture, then the situation is dire. Like I couldn't. There was no way for me to have taken the pictures. I was either somewhere without a mannequin or a flat surface. And even then, I would find a way to make a reel out of it. If I really don't take a picture, I just couldn't. It was beyond my control to take the picture. I take a picture of every single thing and then I post the picture. Because it's one thing to take pictures and it's another thing to post the pictures. Like I said, who told you those pictures are not Instagram worthy? The other crocheters that have been posting, but they've been posting for 5 years. They've been posting for 4, 6, 7 years. You just started. So allow yourself share your beginner process. Okay? Share the works you make. Some people don't post on Instagram. Cool, you don't know anybody there. Nobody's liking your stuff. How about WhatsApp? WhatsApp is more close niched. It's family, friends, and close acquaintances. So why not share it on WhatsApp? Why do you think they would laugh at your work? I mean, it's absurd, but people really don't post because they think,
oh, they'll say this silly girl, what's she up to? Yet another craft of hers. Will she even take this serious?
nothing anybody thinks matters as much as what you think. So post your work because people are watching. Here's one thing I realized from being in business, crochet business for over 3 years. Even if you don't get an order today, it does not mean nobody saw the post. Does not mean nobody acknowledged the post. It's a matter of the subconscious mind. So here's 2 case scenarios. Take someone that has been posting her work from say the beginning of the year. Compare them to someone who just started posting their work, who is always doubtful, who posts once in a while. But she's been in this business, mind you, she's been in this business longer than the other person. But the other person has been posting consistently for 3 months. If I want to order and I viewed both people's status, I watched both their Instagrams. Who do you think I will order from? This other person. And even if this person is as good as the other person, say they are in the same beginner level, I'm more likely to order from this one because I've seen her post her work time and time again, and it just registered in my head that, oh, this girl makes crochet, so if I ever need crochet, she's my plug. Meanwhile, you are there thinking,
Who will like my stuff? Who will not like my stuff? What do I have to offer? Is it good enough? Is the lighting perfect?
please get out of your head, get out of your mind, and post your work today. This mistake I am guilty of, and I see more people fall into the trap. and I wish I could just draw them in and say, sis, don't do this. Hence why I created this video. Mistake number 5: not getting a crochet mentor earlier on. This is a costly one because it will tell over the years. You don't start paying the cost from the beginning. So here's one thing, yeah, in every aspect of life: business, personal life, spirituality, whatever aspect you feel you want to zone in into, you need a mentor. Just like when you were growing up, you had teachers in school for particular subjects and courses. You need mentors in this field. And you'll be surprised how many people, how many big crocheters out there are willing to mentor you if you just say the word and be serious about it. Major mistake from this is not taking crochet courses. So I didn't take crochet courses earlier on. I felt, oh, I could learn it on YouTube. I could learn it on YouTube. You can learn it on YouTube. But what's getting a course from another crocheter who has experienced what you have not experienced, who has made mistakes you haven't, but you would if you don't get that course, is that it grants you access to them. It grants you access to their mentorship, their leadership, their knowledge that they've gathered over the years. In short, it just basically buys you time. You skip a lot of mistakes that beginners would make that don't have the mentor. Not saying it's a world you can't tackle if you don't have a mentor, if you don't take courses. In fact, I think crochet is one of the easiest things to do without being taught. However, having a mentor in the field, taking courses from people who have been in the field, just takes you steps ahead, makes you more advanced than you would be if you just stay on playing field. Mentors are also accountability partners. So say I have a mentor and I just went off the radar because I was really disappointed in my last design, the way it turned out. I just felt, oh, I can't do this. A mentor, a true mentor, would reel you back in, ask you. In short, you wouldn't even have disappeared because you would share with your mentor, I didn't get this right. I don't know if I can do this. And they'll talk you out of that phase because that's what it is, really, a phase. So if you have a mentor, this is one of the perks. It just makes you more accountable to the craft, to your hustle, and keeps you on your toes. You're not just relaxed and winging it on your own. However, you should be patient with yourself because your mentors or people you take courses from have been in the game for years than you have been in. This brings us to the 6th mistake I made, so you don't have to: comparing my humble self to others. So you just started out your business, and like I said, the algorithm works wonders. You will just keep seeing crochet everywhere you go, like it's MTN. You would now be more sensitive to people wearing crochet knitted outfits, and you're like, I can make that. Social medias, Google, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, they would be bombarding you with all the crochet content that is out there. However, you just started. Don't compare yourself to the content these social mediums bring your way. These people have been in the game for so long, they even have content out there. But you just started. Why would you feel down because of how far you see people have gone? If anything, it should motivate you. Really, that's what it did for me. When I told you guys, I started without knowing it was such a blown industry. So when I kept seeing foreign girls, Nigerians even, that are in the industry, I'm like, wow. So I have found a niche. I have found somewhere to be. I have placed myself in this industry, and I've seen all the marvelous things these people have done. I'm like, I can do this. I can also do this. I mean, I was more motivated than ever. So this is how you should feel rather than compare yourself to the place or the position where you met these people as a beginner. I know this because that time I just started. Whenever I see someone that's crocheting, I made it my life's mission, guys, to scroll to the very bottom of their page and say, when did they even start? When did they even start? So that was me subtly comparing myself to them. But in my own case, I was like, oh, so in 2 years I can do what they're doing. In 3 years I can do what they're doing. And it took me less time, if I'm being honest, to achieve my crochet goals. And every year I keep making new ones and achieving them by God's grace. All I'm trying to say is don't fall into the trap of comparing yourself to other crochet artists, because simple, they've been there for longer, and if you stay for that long, you do more than what they're doing. Period. Bringing us to the last and final mistake I made as a beginner crocheter, so you don't have to. Mistake number 7. This is a common one, and if you guessed it right. Accepting less than I was worth. Now I'll break it down. I just started, so if I'm being honest, I wasn't worth so much, because whoever trusted me to make an outfit for them was really just testing me, because they could see I just started. However, I carried on this mindset for way too long. I kept saying, oh,
they did me a favor by ordering. Oh, they don't even know I've been crocheting for such a little while, yet they could trust me with their money. I should collect their money. I should collect 2K. I should collect 1.5.
1.5. Sorry for the laugh, but why are you collecting 1.5 for something you spend more than 1.5 to make? That was my mistake. I was accepting less than what I was worth. In short, I was accepting less generally. I was just like, bring in the orders. I want to crochet. I want to make your work. I want to do your bralette. I want to crochet you that swimwear. Oh, you're going to the pool? I will make you something. Bring 1K. Hey, if you keep running business like that, you know the answer. You would fall in a pit you dug yourself. You would fall fast. So don't accept less than your worth. I won't tell you what you're worth. You know what you're worth. However, I would make a separate video on how to price your crochet outfits. I know there's a lot out there, but I've dabbled in all the calculations, all the mathematics. Over the years, I've changed my system of pricing. I've compared it with others. I've asked myself, is this what I'm worth? And I still struggle, I won't lie to you. But if you want to see a video of all that, my thought process, how I price my crochet outfits, how I figure out reasonable prices, let me know and I will drop a separate confessional on that. So guys, we've come to the very end of the very first episode of Crochet Confessionals with Hussi. In my next episode, I would love to do a question and answer session. That's a Q&A session. I put that out on my Instagram a couple weeks ago that I'm starting a new series and I want questions so I could answer. However, I didn't want that to be my first episode. I got a couple questions from there, and I still want my YouTube family to drop their questions in the comment sections, so I would compile all these questions and answer them. Yes, I would be answering all your crochet questions in the next episode of Crochet Confessionals. If you like this new series, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. What are you even doing here? Listening to all my crochet secrets without subscribing. Please subscribe and leave your comments down below. I answer all my comments. Also, I know I've got some crochet OGs here, so if you've been crocheting and you've been in the game for a while, also drop a comment on a mistake you've made and I failed to mention, or I didn't think necessary to mention. Even if you're a beginner and you've made some mistakes, let me know what mistake resonated with you, and if there's any mistake I failed to mention, please drop it in the comment section below. I would love to read through it and share my own response. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'll see you in the very next Crochet Confessionals or my next tutorial.
Since we kicked it, you've been